As I settled into my chair in the flickering light of the cramped office, the stale scent of unventilated air washed over me in waves, mirroring the low hum of machines lining the walls like silent sentinels. The screens glowed with lines of code, blunt and rhythmic, a constant reminder of the world I was dutifully serving. Logging in to the secure terminal felt as routine as breathing. Yet today, an unsettling prickle scraped against the edges of my consciousness, a whisper of foreboding intricately woven into the atmosphere of New Helios. I sifted through documents, diligently checking updates and monitoring system performance, praying that none of my superiors would glance in my direction. Each breath felt heavier as the minutes stretched on, a sense of entrapment building in my chest. I often wondered how many more hours I could endure this monotonous cycle. Input, process, output, each blurring into the next, like unending shadows in the late afternoon light. Then, it happened. A strange file stood out starkly among the others, like an accusing finger. Bright red and marked with a digital flag, it felt more menacing than any directive I had encountered before. My fingers hesitated over the keyboard, the indignation of curiosity clawing at my mind as I wrestled with the decision to click. After another furtive glance around the room, I took the plunge. Entering the password felt like trespassing into a realm I was never meant to explore. The file opened, and the screen filled with insidious lines that instantly captured my attention. Extraterrestrial assault imminent. My heart raced, echoes of those cold, clinical words echoing in my ears. I skimmed through the details that followed, each line a pulse of dread coursing through my veins. The implications lingered like shadows that loomed closer as I read. It was a scenario too outlandish to ignore, too alarming to dismiss. Panic began to fill the spaces of my mind, threatening to crack the surface of my carefully maintained composure. It couldn't be real. The government was vigilant. They wouldn't allow something like this to slip through their fingers. Would they? The notion felt hollow against the chilling evidence laid out before me. The theme of secrecy contagiously watering the seeds of my unease. I pressed my palms against my temples, gnawing on my lip until I tasted iron. My thoughts spiraling as I resisted the urge to shout for a superior. Even the room's silence felt heavy, teetering on the brink of something explosive, compelling me to glance toward my colleagues. Yet I saw none, only the vacant monitors glaring back at me, screens revealing a reality I could not confront. I quickly slammed the file closed, and the urgency for restraint gripped me like a steel vice. My heart thundered in my chest, a deafening reminder of the stakes now laid before me, the gravity of the situation pressing upon me like an immense weight. Was I being paranoid? The thought weighed on me like the oppressive atmosphere shrouding the office. Shaken, I fumbled for my other documents, scanning the papers as if they could offer me some semblance of comfort. But each rustle amplified my internal turmoil. Each second stole any pretense of normalcy from me. I couldn't just sit here, ensnared by dread and uncertainty. A flurry of thoughts swarmed in my mind, wild and unfettered. If that file contained a hint of truth, how could I not take action? The clock ticked dangerously, mocking my indecision as I breathed shallowly, light-headed and tense. What did this mean? Was I alone in this knowledge? Had I stumbled into treachery that my colleagues were blind to? There was now a burden I could not shake. The knowledge was a weight that might crush me if I didn't do something with it. But what could one ordinary technician do amidst a government entrenched in secrecy? The questions clung to the back of my throat, vile inklings morphing into panicked urgency with each passing second. Just as I began to regain some composure, a knock came at the door, startling me from my reverie. I glanced up, my heart leaping at the sudden intrusion of the mundane into my secretive world. Could it be the supervisor? No one ever knocked before entering, unless they didn't want to be seen. My palms grew damp against the desk, and fear gripped me like an icy claw, paralyzing all rational thought.